Matt Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, back here at the Texas High School Coaches Association Convention, the 86th edition of the convention here in beautiful San Antonio, Texas. I am here with our good friend, the head coach of the McGregor Bulldogs, Coach Judd Thrash, getting ready to enter year 2. Coach, how's it going?
It's going well. We just got done with 7-on-7. Took a team with a lot of sophomores, and we qualified for state. I added up, I think we played like 41 games, after going into the summer. My biggest deal was I wanted to get those guys a lot of reps.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't use 7-on-7 for that, but with young guys, the purpose is to get those guys as much game time as possible. So I think we ended up playing like 41 games with our league there at the school, and then the
Saturday
summer
tournaments, yeah.
So.
Well, it was one thing in 7-on-7 for sure. I saw you guys in the very first tournament of the year in May at Lorena, and you could tell you were young. Things didn't go real well, but gathering the scores at every tournament, you could see every tournament a little bit better, and that improvement started to come. You guys ended up qualifying at Brownwood, had a good state tournament, made it to the championship bracket. I would say overall, you got to be really happy with the progression that your team made, and I'm sure you're hoping to keep that upward trajectory going as you enter into week 1, right?
Yeah, absolutely. With our guys, I tell them it's all about the process, and our guys that are young, they understood they're very coachable, and playing the Brocks and the Salinas, our kids saw those kids play, and what they realized was that it's all about execution. Talent doesn't win games, execution does, and by playing those games and hearing those kids interact with one another, that was more help than anything, because they see what the first-hand programs look like, and I told them that's where we're trying to go. And so I think it was Llano. We were playing Llano in the championship game to qualify, for the state tournament, and basically, those guys were hollering out next play mentality. They were talking about every play matters, because the week before when we played Salina, they were seeing what those kids were talking about, and so that experience alone,
You had to be loving that while you were sitting in the end zone being a cheerleader, right?
Oh,
you had to be loving hearing that, though, right?
Absolutely, man. It was great. I was so proud of those guys, and we have really good parents. We had 2 parents coach our team. They did a great job with them, and then we had a lot of moms.
You had a lot of support out at 7-on-7. You had a pretty good little group of Bulldog fans out there, man. The McGregor folks love their Bulldogs, don't they?
Oh, they do. They do a great job, and so they were very helpful.
Good. Well, obviously we're here at the THSCA convention. It's the final day of the convention. The schedule has been a little bit changed up this year, registration was Sunday, and then you had the convention opened up on Sunday, and so it wraps up today on Tuesday instead of moving in towards Wednesday. From your perspective, do you like the change, or you feel like it's a positive change?
I do. I feel like it's very positive. I know we had a big number for the regional meeting, because it was
every
moved
regional
up.
meeting was really packed this year.
Yeah, because it was moved up, and as far as coaches, we got lots to do and get back to. So I think moving it up was a positive move.
What did you have on your agenda this weekend? Do you have anything in particular you wanted to get done, or did you just want to come listen to a few lectures and kind of just catch up with old friends, or do you have anything that you really wanted to get knocked out?
The main thing is, we had a staff dinner on Sunday, and as a head coach, you're only as good as your staff, and so that was important to have our staff dinner, and we had all the wives come, so that was a big deal. And then, catching a few lectures, and you always take something from that, but that was a positive experience as well. But it's just a time to mend relationships and talk to everyone that you've coached with in the past, and I just thought it was a good way to spend the weekend before you get started.
What would your advice be to a young coach or a kid who's in college who's about to be a coach? Why it's important to be a part of THSCA, and why THSCA is so important to coaches?
As a young coach, when I first started out, my biggest deal is I wanted to go and learn as much as possible. All the different conversations that you have with older, experienced coaches, you can get so much valuable information if you just show up and listen. And I said, as a young coach, going to all the clinics and especially this weekend, you just have an opportunity to learn. And if you can expand, and it's like Coach Morris always says, you got to be a lifelong learner, and you've got to always stay on the cutting edge. If you don't, you're falling behind.
You get left behind. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Well, let's look ahead to 2018 and your Bulldogs. You're always in a tough district. That part of the state always has a lot of good teams in Class 3A Division I. How do you see your team? What's the personality of your ball club going to be next year, and how do you see your team fitting into that district race?
I love where we're at. I think you guys picked us 5th, which you should. We're young, but like I tell our guys, we're just going to focus on one play at a time, and we're going to see what happens. It's very competitive. You know, we transitioned from the Cameron and Rockdale district where there's a lot of speed, and we're transitioning into a more power football district. But I like our chances because, like I said, talent doesn't win games, execution does, and our guys are really gelling together. And that 7-on-7, we got a little bit of momentum going into it, and so I'm excited to see what our guys do. And so I feel good about it. Our coaching staff is doing a great job preparing our kids. I couldn't be more excited. Our community's behind us, and so I'm excited about what this season brings.
What's your team's personality going to be? What's one thing, if somebody says, hey, what's McGregor going to do well in 2018, what do you feel like you're going to hang your hat on?
Man, heart and guts. I saw guys out there at 7-on-7 diving, giving it all they got. We talk about on a daily basis making deposits, and I felt like that this offseason we made a lot of deposits. The guys have put in a lot of time, and so I'm anxious to see what that results in because it means a lot more to them because they've invested that time. And every day, if you make deposits, I tell them that something good is going to happen.
All right, Coach. Well, it's about that time. You're going to have to spin the Dick's Sporting Goods Wheel of Questions. Nothing's going to get you fired on here.
Okay.
I want you to spin it and answer it honestly. All right, Coach. All right. You know what a stop-down movie is? A stop-down movie is when you're sitting there on the couch and you got nothing to do on a Saturday and you're just flipping channels and that movie comes across, you stop and you watch it. What's your stop-down movie?
That's an interesting question because I don't have very much time.
When you do have time, there's got to be one. Everybody's got one.
Let's see here. Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank, okay. That's a good one. That's the one.
I just watched it. That's why it's on my mind.
Okay.
And it's a classic.
It is a classic. It is a classic. I told one of the coaches earlier, mine's Major League. I'm a sports nut, and when Major League comes on, I stop and watch Major League every time. That's
wild thing, baby.
That's right. He's Judd Thrash. We're here at the THSCA Coaches Convention. Coach, we appreciate your time. Congrats on last year, making the playoffs in your first year. Good luck in 2018. And we appreciate what you do for student-athletes in the state of Texas.
I appreciate you guys, man. You guys are doing a heck of a job, and it's exciting to see you guys expand, and I appreciate everything you guys do as well.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.